Good evening, everyone. My name is Nexus, and welcome to part 2 of this uneven stream as we're continuing our Rogue Trader playthrough. Yeah, that's correct. Cool. Let's be for the Emperor. Oh, I was right, I do bloody voice acting. My bloody attempts of voice acting. Quote unquote voice acting. Okay, where the hell am I heading? Okay, I need to head to. Okay. Don't think I actually checked out the astropathic relay last session. We kind of dicked around on the ship. So let's check it. So, astropathic station. The astropathic station is dead ahead of the void ship. It is motionless. There is lifeless silence across its vox frequencies. Its lights are out. Even those who have no warp sensitivity can feel the presence of death. It is here, lurking in the shadows. All of this makes reading the reports of the ship's astropaths, who claim to be hearing an incessant ghostly howl emanating from the station, all the more disturbing. Send a scout in. The enforcers offered their prayers and proceeded to enter the uncanny station. What they saw inside was monstrous. Astropaths on their thrones, not quite here, not quite now. Smudged, as it were, across time. Servants reliving their horrible deaths again and again, only to be reborn out of the ashes and blood into more agony a moment later. The warp manifested itself here, twisting the very nature of existence. The main hall was covered by a crust of psychic ice. A green-robed blind old man, Jesus Christ, sat motionless upon a tall throne. He was quite embedded in the ice, yet he was alive and screaming. That would explain the screaming they heard. Or just station to be explored. I want to cover all things. A brief, chilling chronicle of the station's doom was found in the scribe's records. A warp disturbance of monstrous proportions wiped out half the choir at once. Bloody hell. Turning the astropaths into living portals with which torrents of immaterium energies poured out. Those who lasted longer bellowed and howled about a black rift and had split the universe into before and after, and a darkness that devoured the Astronomican's light. Which I think is the lighthouse, right? Yeah, the psychic beacon. Alright, let's okay, let's send more. Okay, we'll send Zachary Wise, which I think is my astropath guy. E. Choir Master, yeah. We's boarded the station in person and proceeded to the choir's hall. He stood silently for hours in front of a man frozen in ice and had a telepathic conversation with him. Then Master Wheeze offered a prayer to the God Emperor, and the unfortunate man passed away. Upon we got an item. Oh, that's cool. Sorry. Upon returning to the ship, Wheeze revelented and presented the Lord Captain with a grim trophy, the late Choirmaster's amulet, taken from his frozen body after his death. The psychic shriek carrying across the Immaterium had been silenced, but this brought the crew no relief. A chilling realization came to the astropaths when they discovered that the cry was making a different sound. One even more terrifying and surreal. It was a melody of a cataclysm born from a warp storm of titanic power. So intense, the entire expanse must be able to hear it. Muffles astropathic It muffles astropathic messages and crawls into psycho minds, evoking everywhere the same image: a dark, gaping, beastly mouth, cleaving the universe in two. Now that the mad choirmaster finally stopped screaming, the song of the Immaterium has reached a rogue trader's void ship too. Burn everything. Void torpedoes shatter the fragile station. One can only hope the unfortunate souls captured by the warp have perished along with their home. Shit. Okay, we're gonna head to Rycard Morris next. Oh, Lord Captain. Lord Captain, sorry to disturb you. It's pandemonium outside the bridge gate. One of the officers seems to be demanding an audience with you. I think I hear Master Wessarian's voice. In any case, I wanted to warn you in advance. Oh, for God's sake. We're busy, we had blow up an astropathic station. Abelard! Alright, Iron Class, need to keep focused. I'm a nice guy. Oh, okay, what I'm doing this event. Whee! This is not the conduct of an officer. These are the antics of a highborn brat out on a lark. Explain yourself, Lieutenant. I apologize, sir, but I must speak to the Lord Captain. Very well, Lieutenant. May address the Lord Captain. Not at least because you've already seen fit to disturb him, but when authorized present appearance on the bridge, and display of belligerence towards higher-ranking officer will be logged on your personal file without delay. Lord Captain, Lieutenant Avila Vent, requesting permission to speak on a matter of extreme importance and urgencies. You may speak, but I want to hear a report, not a shouting match. Having two officers bickering in full view of the bridge is unacceptable. I'm sorry, Lord Captain. I thought that Dr. Kimes called for drastic measures. This matter cannot wait. Any minute now, an assault unit will be dispatched to lower decks on orders to crush the workers' strike by any means necessary. But I am convinced that this step is unwarranted, that the crisis itself was provoked by the actions of one of the senior officers. Lord Captain, I urge you to investigate the actions of Seneschal Wessarian. Ooh. And to intervene what's happening on the lower decks, because very soon we will have a mutiny or massacre on hands. Where does my Seneschal come in this? I shall explain. I beg you to hurry, time is running out. I will not hurry. Since my competence is under scrutiny, I shall speak as long as I see fit. There is an established order for the way of things are done on this ship, and one of the pillars of the system is that the rogue trader's attention is not distracted by trivial matters. It's the Seneschal's role to ensure that I have always handled internal problems myself. So of course, when I received information about cultists hiding on lower decks, I took matter in hand. So as long as I live, not one of the vermin who murdered Theodora von Valancius will find refuge on our ship. You were far too heavy-handed, Seneschal. Arrest, interrogations, mass punishments of entire sectors. Now there's a strike in Deck 4, to be precise. 3 worker clans are involved, but many more are passively supporting them. The situation could generate into an all-out insurrection. But when I reported my concerns, the only response I received was an order to dispatch an assault unit across the strait with maximum force. Master at Arms, the ships and forces report to you, yet you seem hesitant to provide your own perspective. Lord Captain, unlike Lieutenant Vent, I respect the chain of command, and realise there's not within my right to challenge my superiors. That being said, I entirely share Master Rosarian's opinion on the fate of Depot 4 deserves. I must note that this insubordination is direct consequences of practices that he himself has introduced. Mistress Sorbeck, I see you have decided to follow Lieutenant's example. After all, such behaviour does not credit you. I see. Evidently, my officers are anything but a shining example of unity and adherence today. I have only myself to blame, I suppose. Okay, why has no one informed me there's an insurrection on my lower decks? You didn't? No, I'm sorry. Quick drink. There we go. Sorry, apologies about that. I would not deem it a problem worthy of a rogue trader's attention. The lower decks, as it so happens, are in revolt. Fairly some years ago, we even had a revolutionary leader rise up who dared to establish workers' rules across the entire ship. It took a month to restore order, but even 8 years later, we were still battling rumours of that hero who survived his execution and was on the verge of gathering people to fight at tyranny once more. Needless to say, the rumours are baseless, and with the current situation, we have sufficient forces to deal with it. But on this ship, the Lord of the World Captain carries more weight than a salvo of 100 bolters. I'm sure if that rogue trader addresses the malcontents directly, he will quell the unrest. I dread to think what problem you'll stir with the rogue trader next. Perhaps you'll ask Lord Captain to break up brawls in the mess room. I already have the means to resolve this problem. You simply need to use them. If I may, your lordship, sending a hit squad to crush a rebellion of means of ignoring the problem, not solving. What is Depot 4? Depot 4 is one of the poorest sectors on the lower decks. It is the home to clans of general labourers. They are not valuable to the ship, as their families who've served its specialised systems of generations. They're easily a replaceable resource, and which is now more besides giving a succor to cultists and minions of the arch enemies. Enemy back. Depot 4 is poor and troubled, but at worst, that means drunken fights and illegal rot gut brewing. We have handled workers in Depot 4 in the past. We would have done so again if the crackdown in Depot 4 hadn't been so harsh. And another important point to bear in mind is not limited to this sector. It is located on one of the most populated lower decks, and everything that is happening there has a knock-on effect to its neighbouring sectors. How did this start? The situation can boil every minute, so I'll give you the condensed version. All began when forces found a cultist amulet on the body of someone who had been killed by a drunken brawl. We reported it up to chain immediately, arranged a cleansing rite to be performed, and opened an investigation. No heretics have been found alive, but the search has brought tension between forces and workers to head-to-head. Seneschal, what do you have to say on this matter? I see no need to add anything. I acted within my remit of authority, guided exclusively by the best interest of your protectorate and your personal safety. If you wish to confirm the recite of my actions yourself, I have no objections. Very well. For my part, I urge Lord Captain to go to the lower decks and stop the assault unit and speak directly to the people. You will see that they are not lying or harbouring heretics. That way you'll stop the uprising before it begins. I'm certain the Seneschal was acting with his authority, but I will verify the soundness of his decisions myself. For I preserve you, Lord Captain. I thank you for your support. An enterprise bordering on sophomoric. But please, Lord Captain, however, I categorically insist that I escort you. Lord Captain, I regret that the enforcers were unable to handle the situation, which then led to your and the Seneschal's involvement. Consider it my duty to go to depot for myself to see the expedient resolution of this incident. Alright, bring the party. Oh, we got level ups. Holy shit, we'll do that first. Yay, level ups. I like level ups.
Heresy grows from idleness.
Okay. Okay, we'll boost willpower. We're not doing physical damage this time around, so I'm focusing on the las gun. Ooh, well done. What's we got? Auto comparing incoming attacks with a ranged weapon. I'll take that. That's a really good defensive ability. Abelard, my boy. Okay, weapon skill. Okay, we'll give Abelard a little bit of extra movement for his great sword. Oh, foreboding's good. I like foreboding. Where's Flea? Oh, you already got flame weapon proficiencies. Alright, we'll do bolt weapon expert, since you already got a bolter. There we go. We'll have a focus variant of her abilities. Ooh, heal 6 wounds. That's pretty good, actually. Blade Dancer. So weapon skill. And extra sword damage. Alright.
No suffering will make me forget his sacred words.
Really?
Burn the heretic, kill the mutant, purge the unclean.
Abelard! The lower decks are a source of endless problems. Sometimes I dearly regret that we cannot replace all the locals with servitors. They were shouting your name, Abelard. Of course they were. The organizations of daily routine life of the ship rest on my shoulders. The mountain of challenges and problems from which I endeavour to insulate you, Lord Captain. The problems of the situation on the lower decks has been a cause of concern, and I have intervened personally on more than one occasion. That is why they remember me. They do not know your face. To them, you're akin to a creature of legend, one who has stood on the steps of the Golden Throne, no less. Whereas I am the man whose name is attached to every order docking rations or lowering the base heating. Let's keep moving.
Know your duty.
I still do not see our purpose in...
Lieutenant Vance, my patience is running thin. I've given an order, now get out of the way. I cannot comply with the order, Mum. This deck, and it's my deck and my sector. As long as the area remains under control of Lord Captain's special oversight, no action can be taken without my express permission. There are only 3 people who are authorized to make me stand down. The first officer, the rogue trader, and the Emperor himself. So not all my lessons fall on deaf ears. Your Lordship. I want to speak with the strikers. Right you are, Lord Captain. Allow me to wish you good luck. Get on standby. Just gonna pop a quick thief.
We are bound by the blood of martyrs.
Lord Captain, you have come down to us. Tell me what is troubling Tell me what is troubling you. Why are you striking? Striking? That's news to us, your lordship. All we're doing is asking questions and saying what we think. Shut up, Rivet. Here's the deal, your lordship. Your damned enforcers are all over us down here. They say they are looking for cultists. One wrong word, and they are reaching for their batons if they want to banish someone. They turn off the heating to the bay for a week at a time. We get sick and freeze. In my clan, 2 little ones died from inflammation in their lungs, all because of those enforcers. It's all true. Ben's the only enforcer who stood up for us. It's clear as day who had a mother from the lower decks and who grew up amidship and no fellow feelings towards us. Your lordship, we're no villains here. We're honest workers, your servants. We've plotted no disorder. We went on strike openly, and now we've got guns pointed at us. All we're doing is asking to be allowed to work in peace without being harassed. Abelard, do you have anything to add? I have authorized all necessary measures to locate Chaos Wormishers hiding in this sector. The specific steps taken by officers were not reported to me. Nevertheless, I am certain that their actions were justified. Cultists are no drunken stevedores. They are the enemy and a threat to this ship. Neutralizing them demands divisive action. Sorbeck wasn't necessary to torture these people with a cold. The rebel understands one language, Lord Captain, that of violence. As per regulation, should labourers persist in their unwillingness to cooperate, the next step is limiting their air supply and cutting off water, which is almost certain to restore order. The peasants can grumble all they want, but in the end, they're the source of their own misery. All they have to do is bow their heads and fall in line. But we are the bad guys, aren't we? We were attacked on the way here. Someone care to explain this? Here's an explanation. Here's an explanation for you. The people have been pushed to their limit and now lashing out, as if we don't. As we don't know why these top deck units are being sent down here, like the one that the lieutenants went led past. Our clans are all inside the bay that has been sealed off, but the lower decks are big. I'm sure there are some people who've had it just about Well, I'm sorry. Sorry, some people here just had about enough. We're getting it from all sides. Soldiers have entrenched the ones who have risen up. A death squad has just arrived. The one that folks are letting out. Sorry, quick message. Oh yes. The persecution started props of nothing, you say? I was told one of you was found with a possession of a cultist amulet, and that there are heretics hiding here. A cultist amulet? What is that? The Gugar they found on their drunkard? If it was something evil or forbidden, we surely didn't know. The enforcers just said they were looking for heretics among us, and anyone obstructing an investigation would be punished. But how could there be heretics here? We know our own people. There have been no new faces around. Yeah, definitely not. And if there were, we'd be the first to report them. As for the amulet, or whatever it is, they took it off a dead body. There are no cultists still breathing in our sector, that's for sure. But when the fight broke out, some enterprising folks looted the bodies. The boots they came back with. Nobody's ever tread these decks in boots so fine. I can tell you that. Seems to me these cultists have better commanders than us. Oh yeah, those boots really were fine. And there were no harm in taking them, right? As for the amulet, it must have been pocketed by someone who didn't know any better. We don't need any amulets around here. All we worship is the Emperor. And when working on, we bow down before machine spirits. On the large and small transformers and the servo motor. Same way my grandfather was taught hundreds of years ago by a tech priest who came calling. Believe us, your lordship. We are people of faith. Oh. Naive children, weren't you taught at an early age about dangers of the arch enemy's creations? Weren't you warned that any unfamiliar object could be one of them? We were told, Holy Sister, but it was long ago. Last time we saw a confessor in our sector, it was just after I had my third little one. That's regrettable, but you cannot lay the burden of leading the righteous life on the shoulders of the Holy Fathers. Who will you blame when beasts crawl out from the amulets you stole from the heretics? The Holy Father who was not there, or scavenger who brought evil down upon himself and his neighbours? What changes do you need? Would you look at this? The Lord Captain himself is asking us. Bilge rats, what we want. Well, here's what we want. We want you to rein in your damned enforcers, to quit turning off the heat, and stop battering everything that moves. No, that's not it. We want the enforcers gone from here. We want to be armed. Ooh. Give us arms and we'll govern ourselves. We'll defend ourselves. If these cultists show their faces again, I've been the leader of my clan for 20 years. Getting rid of these club-wielding thugs is the only thing that can prove things around here. You've gone too far on that, and they'll never let maggots of lower decks live out enforcers bringing down their necks. They probably even assist on the forces on the upper decks too. And for weapons, what do we need them for? Before the first day's out, we'll have someone shooting their neighbours out of stupidity or drunkenness. Okay, this guy actually isn't. We don't need that. If the enforcers stop hassling us, that'll be enough. In return, we'll find the scavengers who robbed the cultists' bodies, and we'll talk to them. Only lower deck folk, one lower decker to another. If there's any more of those damn animals about, we'll hand them over to the enforcers ourselves.
You speak for yourself and your clan, and I'll speak for me and mine. We don't want empty gestures. I want real change. They'll promise us the world now. But as soon as the Anointed One turns his back, these brutes will be on us harder than before, all because we dared to speak out.
Okay, got high coercion. What's up, lad? The story about going scavenging for boots and accidentally picking up heretical amulets doesn't convince me. These people were mere moments away from rebelling and possibly becoming minions of the arch enemy. We must not give them what they want, even if they did acquire something innocently, purely of their own stupidity. But that does not mean they are not tainted with corruption. What begins as thievery can turn into a graver problem. I've seen it before. In my second war, I was a sergeant in the Imperial Guard. Same. The regiment I was stationed nearby, sergeant took an ordinary pocket knife from the body of a heretic, and his whole unit lost their lives for it. When they managed to break into the barracks, they found not a single survivor, only a pocket knife, which had grown roots. Sorry, hold on. Grown through all the row beds with a choking metal vine. Sorry. So when it comes to scavengers and malcontents, strikers, what they turn to next, my verdict is simple: give them no quarter. Okay, got high. We'll do a high coercion. Spreading anarchy on this ship is the first step towards embracing chaos. Putting weapons into untrained hands would be even worse. What's more, enforcers are needed to maintain oversight and order. Withdraw those demands and we will consider the rest. Old man, listen, the Lord Captain himself has come down and offering us concessions. And I don't know a single person in the whole depot before who's ever stood next to a rogue trader, let alone talk to them. Back down. Now's no time for you to be a stubborn old crone. Listen to us, old man. The three clans depot before want to act as one. We've made up our minds, and it's your turn to decide. Don't ask them to disband the enforcers or give us weapons. We do not need any of that.
You two are ganging up on me. Is that it? So brave you are against an old woman, But I'll shut up. I will indeed. I won't go against two clan leaders on my own. If you want to make peace with the enforcers, make your peace.
Okay, that's great. Lord Captain, we're all agreed. Master of Arms, where do you stand? Give the rebel a grox and they'll take an agri world. Lord Captain, they only understand brute force and will interpret any concessions as a sign of weakness. We're not doing that. Then it's decided. The persecutions will stop, and I will expect you to assist in locating any amulets, weapons left by the cultists. The Lordship, thank you. You have not abandoned the lower deckers. You can sell yourself to sell everything. I'll tell my grandchildren about this. Of course, your Lordship. We'll roast any nasty business faster than the enforcers. And we'll leave no stone unturned.
Let the faith guide my path
Problem
to
solved.
glory.
At least for now. I have an urgent matter. I have an urgent matter to discuss with you, Lord Captain. Please give us a moment. Well, are you pleased with your investigation, Lord Captain? You kowtowed to the disloyal rabble, and you believe their lies and show them leniency. Next time the ship is attacked by cultists, the rabble will welcome them in with open arms. You allow them to wreak havoc they like, because they see you as a weak leader. Is that how you see is that how you see your future at the helm of? Let's talk about your role in this instead. You allowed the revolt to happen. Your actions practically guaranteed it would. I would have handled the situation myself had you not decided to intervene. Remember, Lord Captain, Theodora did not ever. Did not. Such matters were left to myself and junior officers, while she dedicated herself to the grand designs of the Forward Protectorate, as any true strategist and rogue trader ought. Maybe if the former Lord Captain spent more time on trifling matters, she wouldn't have ended up dead, would she? There is no Lord Captain aboard the ship, and I will not repeat that mistake, Seneschal. Is that clear? I commend your decisiveness, but I am uncomfortable with introducing new protocols in the midst of a crisis. And I lost my temper, Lord Captain. And I believe I ought to explain myself. The prosperity of Von Valancia's proctorate is not just an empty phrase to me. I left the Imperial Navy for a chance to see it flourish. It was the most monumentous decision of my life. I did it because I saw the Lord Captain of Theodora's deeds, the sign of true greatness. Rogue traders do not simply forge new routes and capture worlds. They create order out of anarchy. That creative, impulsive was entirely lacking during my time in the military. So I left behind everything I had known. Everything my family had known. I come... 1 second, close my window. There we go. I come from a long line of officers, and I embark on this incredibly reckless adventure. Lord Captain Theodora entrusted me with all the concerns she had no time for. She would go off her flagship for long periods to distant frontiers on scouting voyages. The advancement of an entire proctorate rested on my shoulders. And then, suddenly, everything that had been built over years and years began to quake and rattling like a flimsy hanger on a seismic active world. One of the senior officers betrayed us all. The rogue trader was killed. And who knows what's happening on the planets. I tell you this honestly without fear or appearing weak. All this has come as a grievous blow to me. I am not panicking or grieving. I cannot allow myself to panic or grieve. I am duty-bound to aid the rogue trader, to aid you, to find your footing as quickly as possible. And to do that, I must insulate you from problems that in the past have been dealt with by tried and tested procedures set out on the ship's regulations. Procedures that were established long ago and have functioned smoothly for decades cannot suddenly be deemed excess to requirements. Okay. I understand, but you need to learn how to respect me as your Lord Captain and Rogue Trader. Accept it and start living in the new world. A world where Theodora is gone, but where you and I have new decisions to make. Yes, Lord Captain. Your resolve is admirable and demonstrates strong leadership. I shall remember this, should my old habits begin to creep back in. And please, let us leave the lower decks. If the Rogue Trader desires to stretch his legs, there are far more suitable places.
Let us walk this path to the end.
Actually, before we do, I want to stop somewhere. Something here first, actually. Aye, what have we here, Lord Captain? It's not very noticeable, but there's a void ship sitting in a local asteroid field. It sure is quiet, like it's huddled up in there on purpose. It's not like I'm surprised. The thing's more of a scrap heap than a ship at this point. Somebody sure went to town on it. We are registering critical damage to the hull and depressurizations on several compartments. Oh, it looks like someone's trying to get in contact with us. Hey, do you hear us? Do not require assistance. Pete, do not require assistance. Copy? Keep following. They'll pass us by, won't they? Sure protect us. Lord Captain, I am told our augurs cannot determine the allegiance of the vessel. To be brief, there is an identified and badly damaged vessel within our asteroid field. The Rikiad Feliconi that is refusing help, which is, not to put a fine point, has not been even offered to them. Let's identify this vessel, shall we? Yes, Lord Captain. Connection established. Unknown vessel, we're receiving you. Identify yourselves. I repeat, identify yourselves. But do not tell him. Do not tell. Do not tell. Tell him we are done for. This is Thunderfang. We are a merchant vessel. Do you copy? We are a private vessel. A merchant vessel? Of course. They are damn stupid head. Why did I hear this name before? Thunderfang. Thunderfang, why can we not identify you? Why? I don't know. What if, certainly not. Our vessel is badly damaged. Damage is preventing correct identification. We assure you, peaceful merchant vessel. Thunderfang does not require aid. Braveward damage report on the vessel. Aye, telemetry shows multiple hull breaches. Most likely caused by guns of a combat ship. Several compartments are leaking air. The bridge has almost been completely obliterated. 2 engines are critically damaged. Someone gave them a thrashing. So solid, barely managed to limp away. Thunderfang, your vessel is badly damaged. What is your situation? We were just flying around minding our own business. Straight out of the blue, open fired. Miracle we could get away and be protected. And then more fire. Who? Void only knows. Roasted our tail, bombed everything. Our folks, are left without help. We never got to them. Thunderfang, now stop playing games. Explain again what is your business here, and I highly recommend the truth. Sake, happy now we're done for, idiots. It is too late now. Shit. Do you copy? We are from the Fellow of the Void. We did not come here to loot on different business to help our own out of jail. Do not hurt. Schließ. We have already had our chronos cleaned, have our striking deal. Our hold is full of goods. In case you're unaware, Lord Captain, Fellowship of the Void is a disorderly assemble of several dozen pirate factions in the Chronos Expanse. They consider themselves above regular heretics, solely because they sometimes have vox communications with those whom they are about to board. Were up to me, I would make them eat a salvo from our macro cannons. Shake the scum loose from the decks. They certainly deserve it. I would wait on destroying the vessel if I were you. Although the moral aspects of their livelihood do cause some awkward questions. The Fellowship of the Void remains a major supplier of the goods to the local market. Perhaps you will find dealing with them acceptable, especially in a situation where performing a warp jump is impossible. Thunderfang, prepare for commercial exchange. That sells some shite. I should know. Oh, okay. Let's sell some crap. Reputation. That's how we start stuff. Alright, let's just sell the crap we got in our inventory that we're not using. There we go, we got... Okay, let's get some cool stuff. Okay, so heavy leather armor, a flamer, camouflage robe, melted charge, force grenade. Don't have anyone who's a war world, unfortunately. I'll grab it, see what else. Oh, it's too low. Fuck, I don't have enough profit factor, because I don't. Get some med kits. An auto gun, yeah. Ooh, a soul pan chainsaw, so we can pack that. And a power maul. Ooh, okay, we got some fun stuff. Okay, let's see if anyone can pack this shite. Forgot I got dual shotguns. I forgot I did that. Multi las gun. Oh yeah, long las, right. Oh no, I want to go full rapid fire, didn't I? Very CQB. I need a sniper. Oh yeah, right. I was gonna get Pascal, wasn't I? Doy. Okay, is this an upgrade? It is. The spinner's blade has now been... Yeah, Argenta, sorry. Use your flamer. Yeah, flamer time. Actually, let's go Argenta Steve. Can you not? Oh yeah, it's 35 strength for some reason, ain't it? I thought about that. Is this better than your? Is this better than your current gear? Maybe it's I might check your chest piece if I can. Oh, I can't wear it. Fuck. Is heavy armor proficiency really? All right, next level up, heavy armor prop and picking up. Ooh. No, we'll save it for Pascal because he's gonna get the sniper rifle. Watch, no, okay, yeah, no, we'll give it to Cassia just because of her ranged. Ooh, is it better than my current last gun? Hold on. Is that better than my current last gun? 6 out of 8. I want to just compare. God, how do we switch weapons again? There we go. There we go. Let's compare these last guns. Higher arm pen. You know what? We'll give the last gun's long lance to her. She's likely going to be hanging back. Psych abilities. Now, she's not going to ever use it because she's got psych abilities. We'll save it for Pascal. Okay, add to cargo. Add to cargo. Ooh, camera weep, hold on. Fellowship. Whereas range attacks decrease their target's dodge by. Ooh, okay. Okay, we'll give that to her. So, Rykard Norris, here we go. As the ship makes its way through the star system, a strange fatigue falls over you. Your eyelids grow heavy, and the quill you've been using to draw up yet another order falls from your hand. You raise your head. With a start, someone else is here in your study. You stand up and stare at the dozens upon dozens of corpses surrounding you. Among their number, you recognize disfigured, bloodied faces of those who were killed on the ship's bridge, and those you have met in your previous life. How is this possible? Where are the enforcers posted to stand guard? Matters not. You are alone against a horde of heretics risen from the darkness to take your life. As of its own accord, the shard lying on the edge of your desk, the sole remnant of Conrad Voigtgear's weapon, slips your hand. The metal is searing cold. The dead sway from side to side, closing around you. The nightmares slowly advance. Step back or else. The dead only draw closer and closer. Your fingers involuntarily tighten around the shard, its sharp edge cutting into your palm. An unbearable light floods everything around you, and you find yourself surrounded by groveling minions, their bodies shriveling in your mere presence. Your hands no longer hold a pitiful shard, but a majestic, intricate weapon. A skillfully crafted sword with a strange, unnerving proportions. A curved design, unusually adorned hilt, with the image of a closed eye. The eye opens. It's like Hexblade, Jesus Christ. The eye opens wide, revealing a gaze so ancient and dark that it steals your breath away. You have felt this gaze before, there on the bridge, and the voice that appears in your mind only confirms your guess. The tapestry is woven. The path is chosen. Accept your fate, champion. Never. Your body refuses to obey your mind. The candle feels as if it has become one of your hands, and the gaze of the demonic eye sets on your very soul. Resisting is futile. You scream as your soul burn away to ash. You awaken from your vision, kneeling next to your desk, clothes drenched in sweat, and a sour taste on your tongue. Your head is ringing, and you struggle to recall those faces and the image of the sword in your hands, only a deep cut on your palm, and the bloodied shard lying in front of you. Remind you of what just transpired. You would rather die than touch that thing again. You reach your now shaking hands for your Vox to call for a servitor. Now you just have to wait for the mindless automaton to arrive. Pick up the cursed artifact, and head to the nearest airlock to be claimed by the void. That was fun. I can't already linked the extra loot. Oh shit. Oh, hold on, I can link my fucking Twitch account to this? Okay. Okay. I guess we now have drops. I guess? Claim rewards. I haven't had. Okay, guys, some of these guns. Greetings. Begin scan. We're into the starport. Who the fuck shooting at us? Well, this is a shit show.